was the most slick way. Yeah. Folks, and we are live here from our first ever Wardy Day. Sadly, it comes in a very frustrating defeat. I'm on one hand very happy that the Mets obviously rallied to make this game something of what it was instead of a complete blowout, maybe losing by 3-0, not be that. But at the same time, very frustrating way to end this ball game. Apologies in advance, everybody, if the audio is a little all over the place. It's currently fireworks night at Citi Field, so I got to yell my head off this entire time just so you guys can hear me, and I apologize. But I'm giving you guys a live reaction and breakdown here from Citi Field itself. And no, I'm not joking. No, I'm not exaggerating. You guys can all see it along with me. There's the ballpark. The ball game literally just ended, everybody. And we're going to break down what was a very frustrating 4-3 loss for the Mets here in extra innings. Listen, very happy with the boys rallying the way that they did. But that rally means absolutely nothing when you can't hit off of Randy Rodriguez. Ronnie! Come on! Ronnie! We just did this in Oracle Park. Why can't we do this at Citi Field? Guys, all seriousness, how we feeling, everybody? Chiming in live on a replay for our latest New York Metropolitan Postgame show presented by our amazing sponsors at BetUS to have you covered for all of your sports betting needs. Bet responsibly. And Moomoo, the official trading platform of the New York Mets. But I want to know everyone's initial reaction, frustration level, everything in between to the Mets not getting enough done when it came to the bats. Color me shocked. Another game where the Mets just were not able to get nearly enough done for you, everybody. So we're going to live react to this, break it down. I am here with a lot of amazing Mets fans I want to further shout out and appreciate, guys. Thank you guys all so much for being here. Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much. Seriously. Shout out all my Mets fans as always. You guys are absolute best. Absolute best. Can't thank them enough for showing up, guys. You guys are amazing. We're going to hear from them a little bit into the show here, guys, but I want to know, how are we feeling right now? Mets lose 4-3 when they were initially up, obviously. Initially down that we saw in this ball game. David Peterson looked like he could be the problem, and then he wasn't the problem. Peterson goes 6 innings of 2 earned run ball. I think we can all agree. David Peterson was not the liability for the Mets in this ball game as it was their offense yet again when it came to hitting with regards to scoring position. If it wasn't for the sac fly by Alonso, if it wasn't for the ball that got up the middle after the ricochet by Soto, the Mets stand no chance in this ball game here against the San Francisco Giants. So on one hand, you say to yourself, you're happy that the boys were able to rally back the way that they did after they were initially down 3 runs, while at the same time you say to yourself, the Mets have this continued problem when it comes to hitting properly when it matters most. You appreciate the rally, you don't appreciate the result, however, and that's what we have to live react and break down in real time, everybody. Casey, thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate that. Casey says, I'm sorry, but anyone who thinks this team is going to do more than make the playoffs is beyond me. And honestly, with that September schedule, playoffs not given. Listen, I know a Mets fan is not talking about how I understand playoffs is never a lock, but how are we going to go from being ecstatic about what the Mets did at the deadline to then saying from this donating channel, I love you, KCB, thank you for the donation, but let's be real, why are we going to be that much of a pessimist after the Mets just lost in a walk-off? I understand the frustration, but here's the thing, you can balance the immediate reaction and frustration as a fan while understanding the long-term goal and grasp of this team. The Mets are more than likely going to make playoffs, and there's a great reality that the Mets go out and have themselves a deep run this year. Now, I agree, the heading was not there tonight. There's no denying that. And not only do I agree with you, but we're going to hear from my Mets fans in just a second to share their opinions on the matter. We got my guy Dave Kaplowitz, who's literally sitting right behind me. Where's Dave? Where is Dave? Where'd he go? Dave, where'd Dave go? Dave is right over there. For those that don't know, David just donated in the chat. He's right there in the corner. Shout out my guy Dave. There's the legend. That's Dave Kaplowitz in the chat, his buddy. We appreciate them for coming up to Wardy Day. Dave, while watching live in real time, just donated $20 and stated the following. Had a great time at Wardy Day, except the Mets blew it again. They did. I at least appreciate that the Mets showed up more today than they did on David Wright Day. Seriously, when you think of big days at Citi Field, mine is far more minuscule. Mine is like an ant to what David Wright is, the king. But at the same time, an event-related day at the ballpark. They don't show up for David. They were starting to show up for me, but it wasn't enough there that we saw in this one, everybody. As we take a look, guys, let's get into this a bit more. What was the frustration? Well, we look at the pitching end. Who did not get the job done today-wise? There's one man that sticks out more than most. It is Ryan Stanek. Ryan Stanek, in the year 2025, is arguably the worst reliever in the Mets bullpen right now. It's insane to say that, but it's true. You can't say it's Rico Garcia. Rico won one shutty. You can't say it's Ryan Helsley. Hells bells in his Mets debut. He gives up 2 hits, gets the job done. You can't say it's Edwin Diaz because, listen, I understand that the unearned run happened there to Edwin, but that was it. All the Mets needed to do was go out and hit competently there in the extra innings, and they were not able to get the job done in that regard. When we take a look at the hitting end, what were the Mets not doing? A whole lot of not hitting. Look at that horrendous 5 through 9 in this lineup. McHits, Terrens, nothing else to show for it, right? You see Beatty come in for Vientos later on this ball game after Vientos had himself a hit. Mauricio not getting the job done either besides his walk. He struck out by Randy in the ball game. Cedric Mullins comes in, and this is my gripe. This is my initial gripe, everybody. I think you can all agree. And I apologize, I went to the wrong slide there. Let's get to the apologies for that, guys. I did not mean to give you the jump scare. That means it's going to be a good post-game show. So Cedric Mullins doesn't start today when he's activated. Also, apologies for the light show, everybody. Again, it's fireworks night at Citi Field. I'm not joking. Fireworks are going off as we speak. Let me actually see if I can get this set up here a little bit more. Oh, they're they're popping some Nirvana right now. Let's go. I know, I'm looking ridiculous right now. Guys, look at the fireworks. Let that cheer you up at least a little bit. Live from Citi Field, fireworks night. I'm trying to remember, what was the last time the Mets actually won a fireworks night game? Feels like every big, hyped-up Friday night game at Citi Field this year has resulted in a loss. Am I the only one who feels that way? Is it because I've attended multiple Friday night games that they've lost this year? I'm not exactly sure. But what I am sure of is that this is the most entertaining aspect of tonight's game because the Mets still lost 4-3. It was your final score, everybody. So there you go. You get a little fireworks show live in real time at Citi Field from your guy, Wardy. Well, we have to break down what was a frustrating loss here that you guys can't see me at all for. So let me at least do you guys the favor of changing the camera just a smidge so that way you guys can see me just a little bit more, everybody. Oh my goodness gracious! My camera just disconnected in real time. That's brutal. Alright guys, there you go. That's actually better. Somehow, someway, that's better. Thank you guys all so much for chiming in live on a replay. What's the frustration level tonight, everybody? I want to hear from each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much. And no, I'm not drunk. No, I'm not drunk. Don't worry. Just everything's all over the place because it's fireworks night at Citi Field. I'm trying to break it down for you guys the best I can. Let's see here. The Cubs game? I was at that Cubs game on the Friday. I think that's the only Friday night banger that they've won at all in the immediate memory that hits the brain, at least for me. Let me make sure I didn't miss any key comments here. Benny says, Mendoza pinching for Vientos was the most idiotic decision I've ever seen. Mendoza has lost my faith. Yeah, listen. Vientos got the hit, right? Why take Vientos out of that spot? I understood what the initial thinking was. They wanted to take Vientos out to bring in Beatty, the lefty-righty matchup, but it didn't work. Beatty's ice cold off the bench. It didn't make sense to do it all that much, and yet Mendy went ahead and did it. But my big gripe, everybody, and this is what I have to say to each and every one of you, Cedric Mullins was activated before today's game. I don't know when Cedric got to Citi Field, but you'd have to imagine that he got here in ample time to be ready for the game. The Mets had an off day yesterday, so how long did it take Cedric to get to Citi Field? My question is, you had Robbie Ray starting, and you had lefty relievers in the pen that were utilized by this Giants team, including Joey Lucchesi, who in Lucchesi and Budo, the Mets were able to score on to tie the ball game that we saw, the former Mets legends now foes. Why was Cedric Mullins not utilized over Tyrone Taylor when facing the lefty after Robbie Ray left? The answer is, it made no sense. That's a simple answer. Cedric Mullins has a north of a 900 OPS against left-handed pitching this season. Yet instead, they decide to opt and go with Tyrone Taylor, who has not been able to hit a beach ball in 2 effing months. Explain that to me, how that makes sense. So if you want to nitpick Carlos Mendoza's decision-making, in my humble opinion, it starts with not batting Cedric Mullins for Tyrone Taylor after Robbie Ray left the game. Why aren't you doing that? I just don't understand. Casey with a 5 opening day L, second half opener 100%, second half opener L. David Wright Day retirement L, post trade deadline L, and on top of it, it's Wardy Day. So listen, the only thing that I'm grateful for is that we had a lot of amazing fans show up to today's outing, that we're going to hear their thoughts about tonight's frustrating loss, their key takeaways. Because listen, David Pearson, let's give you the quick recap. We know the story and how this ball game went, obviously. In the second inning, we saw David Pearson give up that double to Casey Schmidt. That was his 7th of the year, and that initially put them right away in a 1-0 lead. So right before I even got a chance to settle down, the Mets are already in a 1-0 hole. Then we advance to the 7th inning. And the 7th inning, Patrick Bailey rips a double himself. That makes it, obviously, at the time, 2-0 Giants. Ryan Stanek, a whole lot of nothing from Ryan, a whole lot of meatballs from Ryan. Then in the bottom of that same inning, the bottom of the 7th, after the 7th inning stretch, the Mets get the Polar Bear with his 23rd bomb of the year. A ding dong, a big bomb, and we're feeling electric at Citi Field. So you're telling me there's a chance? That was the initial reaction when Alonso came up with that bomb. Then we see in the 8th inning, obviously, Lindor got on with a single. That made it 3. That at the time put the Mets in good standing. After the single there by Alonso, Juan Soto lucks out with a single, ricochets off the Giants. That gets in a scoring position. That drives in a run. That makes it 3-2. Shout out to Joey Lucchesi and Jose Budo. They helped this Mets team tonight. They're still in the Mets, clearly, helping the Mets to tie this ball game 3-3. Then the Polar Bear, who got the offense started for this Mets team, he would get the offense ended for this team in the sense that he would get the final run by driving in the game-tying run there, and that same inning with a sacrifice fly. It's 3-3 after David Pearson went 6 strong innings of 2 earned run ball, gave up some early runs, but that's it. Then on top of that, you go ahead and you see Ryan Stanek perform as poor as he did. Man, did that piss me off. I was saying to myself in that moment, why not use Tyler Rogers? Go Rogers 7, go Helsley 8, go Edwin 9. Instead, we get Stanek, he gives up the runs, then we get ourselves to the 9th inning. In the 9th inning, obviously, we would see Ryan Helsley shut down the door. Hell's bells were playing. It was electric at Citi Field, and he worked out of a 2-hit jam. Love that from Helsley. Was touching 100 or 1 or 2 on the gun today. Dot in the corners. Really, really liked what I saw from Helsley. Then the 10th inning. You mean to tell me that Drew Gilbert is in the organization of the Giants? You mean to tell me Jose Budo, Joey Lucchesi, Wilmer Flores, that Tom effing Smith is the reason why the Mets lost this ball game? Come on! What are we doing here? Tom Smith pokes a single. That gives them the 4-3 lead, and the Mets just could not get enough going. All they needed to do was move the runner over, get him a third to begin the 10th, and they couldn't. Nimmo pops out. Lindor then would be a hit by pitch, drilled right away. Hope Lindor's okay, got drilled right in the leg. Then we would see Alonso get out on a walk after an egregious ball call, the pitch prior there by the umpire. I understand I'm currently sitting in the outfield, but even from the outfield vantage point, we all knew that that was a complete botch job by the schmuck there that we saw in the umpire for a called strike. So the Mets almost get hosed. He almost gets screwed. Alonso then takes his base. Its base is loaded for the Mets, or I apologize, it's 2 on. Bases loaded, I should say, for Ronnie Mauricio. And even though Cedric Mullins had his first man at bat, he popped out a little bit earlier that we saw. Ronnie Mauricio gets given the opportunity. And Ronnie Mauricio matching up yet again against Randy Rodriguez, who wins round 2 between the two. Sadly, it does not go in the Mets' favor. Randy shuts down the door. The Giants want to win this one. Oh my God, there's so many fireworks happening. I apologize, it's loud as hell right now. At Citi Field, they're playing Bye Bye Bye, if you guys can't hear that by now. So yeah, That's what happened in this ball game. So enough of me yapping. Let's get some Mets fans to yap, all right? Let's hear from an OG Mets fan, a diehard Mets fan, and a Mets fan who's still locked in on the New York Mets. I present to you, everybody, my good friend Dave Kaplitz. Dave, what's the initial reaction not only to Wardy Day, but the Mets losing this one?
Wardy Day is absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to go to the next one. But the Mets are killing me. They do the same thing over and over and over again. Whatever you... Richie. Whatever you said just now is absolutely correct. Why did they waste Rogers? Why did they waste Rogers and put Stanek in the game? It makes no sense whatsoever.
Thank you guys so much for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming. But you have a good night. Nice seeing you too. You have a great night. Thank you.
All right,
thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you guys so much.
Please do this again next
year.
We will. Hopefully with some better results.
We might do it sooner, so you'll be on the lookout for sure.
First of many Wardy days. We want you all to come next year. Stay tuned. Maybe one's coming sooner than you think.
Love you, brother. Have a good night. Be safe, guys. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, you have a great night, okay?
Great event.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, guys.
Everything you said was exactly correct. I couldn't have said it better. Mendoza doesn't know how to use a bullpen. I'm sorry.
So you would agree that you shouldn't have put Ryan
Stanek in there, but you put Rogers in there. You think he wouldn't have been hyped up trying to beat his whole team? Yeah, I think he would have been.
And here's the thing. Rogers is probably going to make his Mets debut tomorrow against the Giants and watch the Mets win tomorrow.
That's right.
Oh, come over, bro. Thank you so much for coming, bro. Seriously, you have a great night, okay? Thank you so much.
And the thing is, the Giants used all ex-Mets in the bullpen today.
I know. Very frustrating. You, get your ass over here. All right. We got more Mets fans I want to hear their opinion on. David, you're next. All right, who we got?
Jordan.
All right, Jordan.
Rose.
All right, Jordan, what's the initial gut reaction to tonight's 4-3 loss?
Tonight's 4-3 loss. First of all, shout out to Wardy Day. He put this all together himself, and it was just a great experience and a beautiful experience overall. I just wish the result was different. The main points, once again, go to runners in scoring position. It's always been the problem all season long, especially with the bases loaded. It's happened more with the bases loaded than any other, with a third of the bases full, 2/3 of the bases full, but it's always come down to runners in scoring position. And I liked Ryan Helsley overall. 3 strikeouts throughout that inning that he had, and arrangement with the bullpen felt like needed to be in order. I wanted to see Rogers over Diaz and have him late a little bit, but other than that, it was an unfortunate defeat. We unfortunately fell back in the division as well to the Phillies, half a game down now, but other than that, it was a great experience to have this fan experience with you in person. I can't wait for you to do it again.
Thank you so much. Now, we're talking about blue balls. The Mets get us this close, you can't get the job done. The Marlins rally back. Kyle Stowers with a freaking bomb. I got the Marlins up, and they still lose to the Yanks in Miami. What was the final score, 10-9?
I think it was 10-10. They tied it recently.
Oh, wait, I'm getting the wrong game. I'm thinking Yankees-Marlins, but we're talking Phillies here. Phillies-Detroit, what happened there?
Phillies-Detroit, it was an 8th inning rally, I believe, from the Phillies, or 7th, one of those two, and it ended 5-4 in the Phillies' favor. As for the other game, it is 11-10 in the Yankees' favor in the top of the 9th.
Oh, my God. Things you hate to see, really. So I agree in the sense that the runner's scoring position woes continue. The Giants were 3 for 14 tonight.
Yeah.
Horrendous. The Giants made the Mets look decent with runners in scoring position. But the Mets weren't all that much better. They were 1 for 7, and they left 9 on base tonight.
It's unfortunate. Like I said, it's been a problem all year with runners in scoring position, but that's what life is in baseball sometimes, and I feel like Eric Chavez needs to get his stuff in order, and I believe he just needs to fully focus 100% on this rotation and stop responding to many people on social media, in my personal opinion, because he's been doing that. I've been seeing that from him personally as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. No, wait, did you talk about Chavez, you just said?
Eric Chavez.
Oh, yeah. So if you guys don't know the Eric Chavez tea, let me enlighten you a little bit. I just saw on X the other day, Chavez got a DM from a Mets fan. I know I have it on my phone, I just don't know where. And he DM'd him saying, Eric, The Mets just lost another brutal game because they couldn't hit electric runners in scoring position. Yet instead of trying to make this team better, you're more bothered by answering people's DMs on a nightly basis. And Eric Chavez replied to that DM from that Mets fan and said, "That's right," or "You're correct," along those lines. So I don't have a personal ill will against Eric, but at the same time, what the hell are we doing there, right? So the fireworks show has ended. They're going to kick my ass down in the next couple minutes. So before I get out of here, let's get a remark from another Mets fan. You guys want to come in quick and share some thoughts? Let's get it in. Yeah. Thanks so much for coming in, bro. I appreciate it. Pleasure meeting you too. Yeah, be safe heading home, bro.
I think we're going to get going.
David, thank you so much.
So take care. We'll talk to you on chat. Don't
that
worry
sounds
about
great.
it.
You have safe travels heading home, okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, who do we got with me right now?
It's me, Hyper Mario Sunshine. I'm also known as Peter. I also work here at Citi Field. I took the day off for Wardy Day.
Oh, thank you so much again for coming. I know that, I think we can all agree the day was electric. The game started off horrendous. Just slow roll. It felt like we were in the 7th inning in the snap of a finger, truthfully.
Yeah.
But the way that they were able to rally back got us all tied in, but it wasn't enough. What do you think the Mets can do to better their hitting in situational spots like runners in scoring position?
There's obviously the approach to the plate. There's sometimes there's some times where we would get inconsistent. There would be points where we'd be swinging for the fences 2-3 pitches in a row, and then at some points you'd get very amazing at bats from Lindor, from Soto, from Alonso, those flashes of brilliance. I think they just need to focus and go with the flow rather than doing that.
Thank you so much for coming, Vladimir. Cheers.
Have a good night, guys.
Oh, wait a minute, sorry.
I'll join it. I appreciate it.
That's
Yeah, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate
everything
it.
we've done.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure, buddy. Thank you, guys. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it. Before I go, one final remark. Give us a one-liner, David.
A one-liner? Walk. Well, I was going to ask you something about walking Dom Smith there in the top of the 10th. Would you have done that?
No, because it's Dom Smith. You shouldn't have to feel inclined to give him balls.
You set up a double.
Yeah, we're getting out of here.
You set up a double play there. That's the key. Set up a double play, and then you get out of the inning, no runs.
Right. It would have been nice, but listen, it didn't happen. I think the big thing going forward is bullpen.
Pitching.
But you got to hit.
And you got to hit.
You got it. Listen,
Clutch.
you can't sit here and complain too much about the pitching. The Mets gave up a total of 4 runs today. It comes down to the offense.
And the offense, right. I agree.
All right, 100%.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rel, for the $5 haul. Thank you so much again for coming to Wardy Day. I appreciate that. Guys and gals, that's going to do it. I got to go. They're kicking me out. The ball game's over. Thank you guys again so much for watching. We'll be doing Wardy Day again. Hopefully we get a victorious matchup next time, but at least the ball game was entertaining. Definitely going to take that over a 3-0 loss. We'll have more Mets content for you guys tomorrow for your usual post-game show, maybe some content prior. Hope you all have a fantastic rest of your night, day, evening, whenever you're watching this. This is your guy, Wardy.